Apple's 10th anniversary iPhone, the iPhone X, was announced on the 12th of September at the Steve Jobs Theater at Apple Park, the tech giant's new San Francisco headquarters. It brings a whole range of new features to Apple's flagship device a decade after Jobs launched the original, multi-touch iPhone. iPhone X latest news: 25,102,017. Apple's complex iPhone X design and an aggressive schedule are reportedly leaving it fighting an uphill battle to have the iPhone X ready for its scheduled launch date on the 3rd of November. Apple told manufacturers to make the face recognition technology less accurate in order to produce enough devices, according to Bloomberg. The publication also wrote that Foxconn pulled as many as 200 workers off the iPhone X production line about a month ago, when Apple was struggling to gather enough components for the device, in particular the 3D sensor used in Face ID to unlock the iPhone X. Apple did not give suppliers extra time to make and assemble the device, however, which is why the iPhone X is being released 6 weeks after the iPhone 8. It's an aggressive design, said the source, and it's a very aggressive schedule. The 3D sensor's dot projector uses a laser to help create 30,000 points of infrared light that it projects onto the user's face in order to map the image. But the laser and lens of the project are extremely fragile, slowing production. Furthermore, Apple reportedly lost one of its laser suppliers, Finisar Corp, because it did not meet Apple's specification on time. The 3D sensor shortage is expected to end in early 2018. The Bloomberg source said that Apple has relaxed some of the specifications for Face ID to take less time to test completed modules, although it's not clear how this will affect the technology's performance. IT Pro has contacted Apple for comment. The iPhone X is set to open for pre-orders this Friday and is then due to be available from the 3rd of November. 24,102,017. iPhone X demand not as high as first thought. A new survey has found that demand for the iPhone X may not reach the exceptional figures as previously thought. The survey comes from brokerage Bernstein, which conducted a survey of 1,112 iPhone owners in the US, UK and China, revealing that a quarter of survey respondents plan to buy the new device, as reported by Reuters. The excitement surrounding the iPhone X appears to be magnitudes higher than actual purchase intent. 48% of respondents strongly agreed that they were excited for the iPhone X, Bernstein said. The iPhone X is scheduled to open for pre-orders this Friday, the 27th of October, and will begin shipping from the 3rd of November. Despite this, a majority of iPhone users will upgrade to an Apple device in the future. Consumer loyalty to iPhone remains remarkably strong, despite persistent complaints about high prices and worries about declining innovation, with only 3% of respondents stating that their next phone would not be an iPhone, Bernstein said. Analysts at KeyBanc Capital Markets revealed that demand was down for the iPhone 8. Found the number of people wanting to upgrade their older iPhone to the iPhone 8 was down by 900,000 year-on-year. Furthermore, Apple was hit by a lawsuit last week which claimed that the company's Animoji feature infringes on an existing trademark. See below. The lawsuit states that Apple was aware of an app using the Animoji name and even tried to purchase the trademark before the iPhone X launched. 20,102,017 lawsuit claims Apple stole Animoji trademark. Apple has reportedly been hit with a lawsuit that claims the company's Animoji feature infringes on an existing trademark. The headline feature was placed center stage when Apple revealed the iPhone X last month, which adds 3D animated characters that act like emojis. However, according to a lawsuit filed on Thursday, the name Animoji already exists as a trademark, originally registered with the U.S. Patent Office in 2015. The filing was made by lawyers acting on behalf of Enrique Benanzi, a U.S. citizen living in Japan and owner of e-commerce and technology consultancy firm Monster K, according to the recorder. It appears the dispute is not just over a name, as Benanzi currently has a messaging app on the iOS App Store that uses the Animoji name, which, according to the lawsuit, Apple was aware of and even tried to purchase the trademark ahead of the iPhone X launch. This is a textbook case of willful, deliberate trademark infringement, the lawsuit reads. With full awareness of plaintiffs' Animoji mark, Apple decided to take the name and pretend to the world that Animoji was original to Apple. Apple knew that plaintiffs have used the Animoji mark to brand a messaging product available for download on Apple's own App Store. Indeed, Apple offered to buy plaintiffs' mark but was rebuffed. Instead of using the creativity on which Apple developed its worldwide reputation, Apple simply plucked the name from a developer on its own App Store. It also claims that Apple attempted to purchase the trademark through a number of front companies earlier this year, but that Benanzi rejected each offer. failing to secure the trademark. On the 11th of September, one day before the iPhone X reveal, Apple moved to try and cancel the trademark, according to the lawsuit. Benanzi hoped to release an updated version of his app this year, but rushed to submit a new iteration in an attempt to prevent the public associating the trademark any further with Apple, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit alleges this rush to market has caused irreparable injury to Benanzi's product, and is seeking damages, as well as an injunction to stop Apple using the Animoji name. Apple did not immediately respond to a request for comment. 18,102,017 iPhone X is now shipping from the Foxconn factory. The iPhone X will be very hard to find initially, if reports that the first batch of shipments amounts to just 46,500 units are to be believed. The first shipments of the iPhone X have left Foxconn's Zhengzhou and Shanghai factories and are now winging their way to retailers in the Netherlands and United Arab Emirates (UAE), according to Chinese news website Xinhuanet.com via DigiTimes. Neither site revealed why those two markets are the first to get their devices, but they're obviously key sales zones for the manufacturer, which is pinning hopes on the iPhone X to boost its sales for the year. Although Apple isn't due to start taking pre-orders until next week, the 27th of October, and it won't be available in buyers' hands until the 3rd of November, retailers are prepping for the launch ahead of time so they're ready to start sending them out as soon as pre-orders start coming in. However, the 46,500 number is much lower than previous iPhone shipments, according to Chinese site Commercial Times, and some sites report that the complexity of the X's true depth camera, which enables its Face ID feature, is slowing production times. While Foxconn will make 400,000 of the iPhone X a week compared to 100,000, which was the original order, this still isn't enough to meet market demand, Commercial Times said. 13,102,017 iPhone X will hide notifications from everyone but you. The iPhone X's Face ID feature will do more than just unlock your phone, it will also hide notifications from unfamiliar faces. The lock screen on Apple's next flagship smartphone will only show the content of notifications if Face ID recognizes the face as the owner of the phone, according to Phone Arena. If someone else picks up the phone, the lock screen will not display the actual content of the notification, just the notification source. It's a handy feature that could prove incredibly useful for maintaining a user's security and privacy. This feature will also be available on iOS 11, although it will work a bit differently since earlier iPhones lacked the hardware to power Face ID. Those running Apple's latest OS on earlier iPhone models will be able to go into Settings and enable notifications with content only when the device is unlocked, much like the setting Android devices have used for a while now. As reported by Mac Rumors, the technology used for Face ID is already being shipped to Apple, suggesting that this feature will be ready for the iPhone X when it's released in early November. 29,092,017 How will iPhone X's Face ID work? Apple has released a video explaining how its Face ID identification platform will work, revealing it uses neural networks to resist spoofing attempts. However, it would seem even Apple can't explain exactly how the technology works, according to the BBC. Because it's been designed to prevent people that are not the owner from breaking into the phone, its behavior can be observed but the underlying process remains opaque, the BBC explained. Although it will be able to tell the difference between its rightful owner trying to unlock the device and someone wearing a mask that closely resembles them, it will never be able to reveal how it came to the conclusion the disguised individual wasn't the person who set up Face ID. The developers of these kinds of systems have some level of insight into what is happening but can't really create a narrative answer for why, in a specific case, a specific action is selected. Rob Wortham, an artificial intelligence researcher at the University of Bath, told the broadcaster. With neural networks, there's nothing in there to hang on to. Even if you can inspect what's going on inside the black box, you are none the wiser after doing so. There's no machinery to enable you to trace what decisions led to the outputs. However, Apple does explain very roughly how it identifies the facial features of the face trying to unlock the device, shining 30,000 invisible infrared dots on it in a randomized way which will vary from device to device. The information is then turned into an encrypted mathematical formulation and then compared to the data gleaned from the owner's face, which is stored in a secure compartment of the iPhone. It's this final part that uses Apple-developed neural networks that cannot be hacked or changed, or in fact, explained by Apple. Facial recognition has come under quite a lot of scrutiny in the past, with people claiming it's not as secure as fingerprint recognition, for example. However, Apple launching the video so far ahead of the iPhone X's launch date will hopefully go some way to allay those worries. UK release date: the iPhone X comes out on the 3rd of November. There were plenty of rumors of supply chain delays in the months preceding the device's unveiling, and it looks like they were true. While the iPhone 8 comes out on the 22nd of September, roughly the usual time an iPhone comes out, the iPhone 10 won't follow for another 6 weeks. However, it is available for pre-order on the 27th of October. Price even for Apple, the iPhone X costs a pretty penny. At £999 for the 64GB model, the iPhone X is the most expensive smartphone Apple or probably most major smartphone vendors has ever produced. Specs and hardware: a new 6-core A11 Bionic chip with 64-bit architecture up from last year's 4-core A10 powers most of the iPhone X's capabilities. It has 30% faster graphics than the A10, and runs 70% faster, according to Apple. When it comes to storage, the iPhone X comes in only two sizes: 64GB and 256GB. Display: the iPhone X's 5.8 inches screen is Apple's first to cover the entire front of the phone, which has a glass front OLED multi-touch display on the front, and a glass back as well. Pretty sleek, but also pretty breakable, though it is toughened glass. Its Super Retina HD display helps the Face ID feature, more on which below, while it boasts a 2436 by 1125 pixel resolution at 458 pixels per inch. The screen includes 3D Touch, which allows you to execute different commands by pressing the screen with varying degrees of pressure. Crucially, this Edge-to-Touch display leaves no room for the home button, meaning Touch ID is no more. Battery: Apple reckons the iPhone X lasts up to 2 hours longer than the iPhone 7, which itself lasted an impressive 13 hours in our review. Camera: the iPhone X's 12MP camera is the same on the surface as the iPhone 7s, but boasts a lot more in terms of its software capabilities. Both larger and faster, this camera can measure depth with the TrueDepth sensor key to the X's Face ID feature. There's also two of them, one front-facing and one rear-facing, both of course using optical image stabilization. Digital zoom on the lenses offers 10x zoom on photos and 6x for videos. The front-facing camera also offers a portrait lighting feature using the 3D TrueDepth sensor. It's faster than ever before, too, recording 4K video at 60 FPS and slow-mo videos in 1080p at 240 FPS. Features: Face ID: the A11 chip's integrated neural engine powers the iPhone X's Face ID feature, which replaces Apple's Touch ID fingerprint sensor of your. This facial recognition capability has been trained on 1 billion photos and on rubber masks to distinguish between real and fake faces to be able to recognize a user quickly and easily. Apple claims this means Face ID is so secure the chances of it being fooled are 1 in 1 million, compared to Touch ID's 1 in 50,000. An emoji: or in a lighthearted move, Apple has made use of the camera's augmented reality technology to map your facial movements to various animals emoji. The iPhone X will also support an emoji animated emojis that uses our technology to map your face and transpose your movements to certain emoji, creating stickers and animated voice messages naturally. The company has also partnered with Snapchat to optimize masks and filters for the iPhone X's new AR capabilities. Wireless charging: this feature isn't exclusive to the iPhone X, but Apple's AirPower Pad allows you to charge your iPhone 8, X or Apple Watch 3 without the tangly mess of attaching a cable. Colors: the iPhone X is available in silver and space gray on launch.